Good evening. Before we get started in the formal part of the meeting, the music that you were listening to before was the Cypress Ranch Chamber Choir, which in March of this year was the overall winner of the American Classics Madrigal Festival held in San Antonio. The festival featured more than 40 of our top chamber choirs from across the state. The competition is adjudicated by university conductors from Michigan, New Mexico, and Texas. The festival has been in existence for 44 years and attracts the most elite choirs in Texas. The goal, according to their director, Cynthia Douglas, was to attend and be inspired by the amazing students from across the state. Being selected as a winner was beyond our wildest expectations. For winning the competition, the Cypress Ranch Choir will be selected honor group at the 2014 Madrigal Festivals. Langham High School Choir was second runner-up at this event, and Cypress Falls Choir also placed in the top 10. Congratulations to Ms. Douglas, her assistant, Mr. Lykos, and the members of the Cypress Ranch Chamber Choir. The Board of Trustees of Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District is now convened in a regular meeting on Thursday, August the 8th, 2013, in the boardroom of the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District Instructional Support Center, 10,300 Jones Road, Houston, Texas, at 6 p.m. I want to welcome the members of our audience and our television viewers to this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As the Cypress-Fairbanks Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to the reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by Section 551.071 to 551.084 inclusive of the Texas Government Code. These proceedings are airing live on CFTV Channel 16 and CFTV online on the district website. They will also be rebroadcast throughout the month on Channel 16 and available as video on demand on the website. For the tape to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and for your interest in Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District. Tonight's invocation will be presented by Teresa Hall, Associate Superintendent of Governmental Relations, Communications, and Chief of Staff. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Let us pray. Dear God, tonight, just 2 weeks away from the first day of school, we offer this prayer for all of the students who will be under our watch this year. We pray each one experiences success in their learning as well in their relationship with others. We know your children, our students, are precious. We pray that we are able to inspire them to be their best. We thank you, God, for our teachers and bus drivers, our custodians and food service workers, and all of the other staff you have called to this profession. We ask that you provide them with the wisdom, patience, and steadfastness that they will need to accomplish our goals this year. And God, we humbly ask that you provide all of our families with the resources they need to provide a safe and nurturing home for their children. Lord, please hold our troops in your loving, all-powerful hands. Protect them as they protect us. Bless them and their families for the selfless acts they perform for our community and country in our time of need. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
At this time, Board Member Christine Hartley will read the district's vision and mission statement for the benefit of the audience. Ms. Hartley?
The vision statement. The Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District will be an exemplary educational community dedicated to the highest standards of quality at all levels and in all areas of endeavor. All students, parents, community members, and district employees, respecting and valuing each other, will be committed to providing all students with an education which enables them to live successfully in an ever-changing society. The mission statement. The district will provide the environment and learning opportunities for all students so that as graduates, they will possess the qualities which will enable them to live meaningfully and successfully in society and in the workplace. The graduate will be an effective communicator, a competent problem solver, a self-directed learner, a responsible citizen, and a quality producer. This is the portrait of the Cypress-Fairbanks graduate.
Thank you, Ms. Hartley. Tonight, our AVP students that are working for us are from Jersey Village High School, Joy Travis and Andrew Cordova. The AVP advisor is Cynthia Stoker. And also tonight from our CLC, our Community Leadership Committee, we have members Kelly Ray and Chuck Brandeman. Would y'all stand, please? These are part of the group that meet on a monthly basis and learn more about the district and really helped us out during the legislative session this last year, which I understand is not totally over, right?
It's through finally. Totally finally.
Do what?
They recessed.
They did, okay. Okay, we will now move on to the special announcements portion of the agenda. A has been removed. B, the board will recognize CFISD for winning Reader's Choice Best School District Award from the Cypress Creek Mirror. The presenters are Lashella Epperson and Nicole Ray.
Good evening. Mr. Covey, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry, it's my pleasure this evening on behalf of the Cypress Creek Mirror to present you with the certificate bestowing on Cypress-Fairbanks ISD the honor of Best School District. This is a very special award because the Cypress Creek Mirror polled all of their readers in many of our surrounding districts to find out who they thought was the best school district. And on behalf of the Cypress Creek Mirror, I'd like to present you with Best School District, Cypress-Fairbanks ISD.
Thank you. As soon as he returns, the superintendent will make remarks and announcements, including the honors and achievements earned by staff and students in recent weeks. Dr. Henry?
Thank you, Mr. President. We moved some of our honors and achievements to next month since we are combining our Thursday and Monday meeting this month tonight, so we'll move some of those to next month. And if possible, maybe Roy, while I'm reading the honor and achievement that I'm going to talk about, could you move the artwork over here that is, yes, while I'm reading this, I'll let Roy get that in place, and then I'll talk about the artwork. For the fourth consecutive year, the Office of Susan Combs, Controller for Public Accounts, awarded CFISD with gold level status for the Leadership Circle Award. The gold designation highlights local governments that set the bar for financial transparency, open their books to the public, and set a strong example for other entities to follow. So we're really proud of that. And then I don't have anything written about it, but if the cameras can look at the artwork, our theme this year in the district is Find a Way, and the artwork was actually produced by Cy Lake student Jose Pescador. And like I said, it's our theme for this year, and that's kind of our emblem. So certainly we celebrate Jose's work, and we honored him Tuesday at our leadership conference, and we appreciate him using his talents to help us find a way to help all students and all community members and all parents find a way to do their best. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. At this point, any board member may make a comment during this portion of the agenda without a prior posting being required. Comment items may not pertain to the character of any student, staff, or board member and may not be discussed or deliberated on at this time. Do we have any board members that would like to make comment? Anyone? Ms. Hartley?
I just want to start with welcoming back all of our staff, our teachers, our custodians, our principals. You're all gearing up for a great year, and I know that everybody's going to represent Cy-Fair ISD in the best way, and I'm really proud to represent all of you. I would also like to say that all of us with the district, or at least in my opinion, our thoughts and prayers are with Tom Jackson as he fights something right now. So I just want to mention that, and thank you.
Anyone else? Just briefly, kind of a commercial here. If anybody is at all available, and especially those that are listening in, they need bus buddies coming up the first 3 days of school. And you can do either 1, 2, or all 3 days. It's not a terrible commitment, and it's a real help to our children that are getting to and from school. So I would really ask you to please go online, pull up the bus buddies, and you can get your name in there and be part of it. So I would ask you to do that. And then one final thing is, this last Tuesday, we attended the Leadership Conference, which was a tremendous conference. They had a wonderful speaker from Denver, Mark Sanborn, and he had a great presentation, and it was a really dynamic way to kick off the year. So it was a lot of fun and a lot of energy. Okay, now we're moving on. Patrons who have duly registered per policy BED local may address the board regarding matters of concern or interest to the district other than the character of any student, staff, or board member. I would like to remind the audience and the viewers that the comments of the speakers reflect their own positions or opinions. The board may not discuss or act upon any matter that is not listed under the action item portion of the agenda. Therefore, and I'm reading this, and we have no speakers, so I'm sorry. Don Ryan, who was dying to do the clock, will not be able to do the clock. So I'm terribly sorry about that, and so I'm just canceling the rest of that discussion. I know. Francis is not here. We missed that. Okay, the board will hear the following report. The administration will report on the status of the 2013 summer construction projects. Mr. Roy Sprague. Roy? Did you have a vacation, Roy? Not really, huh? No, I didn't think so.
As we get powered up here. Well, we appreciate the opportunity tonight to present all the hard work that the facilities group, construction, maintenance, and operation have been doing this summer to get all our buildings ready for the first day of school. We're going to take you through some photographs that of all the projects we've tried to do, give you a sampling of the projects throughout the district. And obviously it's very difficult for you guys to probably get to every single campus, so we're trying to bring some of the campuses to you so we can show you some of the type of work that was done that was approved in our 2007 bond program. When we complete the projects this summer, we'll have completed all the renovations that were included in the 2007 bond authorization, and all we'll have left to complete is the remaining new schools in the bond program. This summer, we basically managed the renovation projects. So it was 13 packages. We impacted 36 campuses and 10 support facilities. We were also managing the construction of David Anthony Middle School number 18, as well as we're working on the opening of Pope Elementary School, which is going very smoothly, and we'll be ready for the first day of school. David Anthony Middle School number 18 will open in August of 2014. We also are managing the relocation of 16 portable buildings throughout the district, and there's a host of other miscellaneous small projects that our maintenance and operations departments work on throughout the summer, as well as our facilities group with certain building modifications that don't end up in a large construction contract, but there are projects that we manage to take care of things throughout the district with that. Okay. The total value of the projects from the bond authorization was approximately $32.4 million that we bid out for this summer. Right now, our final projected cost as we stand today is about $31.6 million, which is leaving us a savings of about $834,000. We're very proud of the fact that we're getting these projects in under budget, despite the fact that we actually pushed some of our renovations back because of the budget cuts, because we didn't have the support staff to provide the necessary support to get buildings ready for construction and put them back together after we complete construction. So we actually had an extra year of inflation that we had to absorb, and fortunately our numbers were good from the budgeting that we did for '07, and the results are that we were producing about $800,000 savings, which I know Mr. Snow likes that when I can deliver some money back to him into the coffers there. This is a listing of all the packages that we did in all the various campuses. I'm not going to read that list, but it's a total of 13 projects that were major construction projects that were performed this summer. And some of these projects are ongoing. We're doing the police station. I think we're scheduled to be complete sometime in January 2014 with that additions and renovations at the new police station right there in Telge Road. We're also doing some additions at several of the campuses that are music room additions, and those will take all the way through the end of October and November to complete at those campuses. But all the interior renovation work that we're doing, we're wrapping those things up, and we'll have some punch list items and probably some warranty items through the school year to wrap up with our contractors. On the portable buildings, we relocated 7 portables from Warner, so I know Warner Elementary School is very happy because we're opening Pope and get their numbers down, and we distributed those buildings at various locations in the district. We moved 2 portables from Holmesley to Andre, 3 portables from Cy Ridge High School over to Cypress Ranch High School and Smith Middle School. 2 portables moved from Cy Creek over to Smith, and 2 portables from Lyby over to Cypress Ranch. We're also constructing 1 portable at Dean Middle School, but unfortunately, when we deal with the City of Houston, it takes a very long time to get the permit approved. We're still working on the permit approval, so we actually haven't started construction. When we have to do one in the City of Houston, we started this actually early March, April, and we're still working through the permit process with the city, and we anticipate having that building ready in January for the campus over there at Dean. So even though we're saying we're constructing it, we haven't started yet. We got to go through that process. The other thing I would like to point out is with the county on these portable building relocations, it's taken a little bit longer than it used to. Several years ago, we could walk in and just pay our permit fee, get our permit, and then go ahead and move the building. Now we actually have to go through traffic studies and permit reviews with the county, and in some cases, that could take anywhere from 3 weeks to 2 months in order for us to get an approval to go ahead and move a portable from one campus to another location. So it does take more time now today than it used to 3, 4, 5 years ago. Just something I want y'all to be aware of. Okay, our new campus construction. Here's a photograph of Pope Elementary School with landscaping, concrete. We're all ready to go. All the furniture is actually moved into the building. There's a few things that Matt Morgan and his team are wrapping up and delivering to the campus. If you've had a chance to walk through it, it's a beautiful building. We're really excited about the design. I know Becky's really excited about getting started for the new school year. You can see a view of the exterior of the building, a portion of it. And here's an interior shot. One of the things we're doing now in our elementary school design is creating flexible learning spaces. And if you look at the photograph on the left, that is one example of one of our flex learning spaces that we actually built into the design. And what we try to do is we try to look at our circulation space and try to absorb some of that circulation and try to create some additional learning spaces as we do the design. And this is an example of what we've come up with at the elementary school. And it allows our campus to use that space in many different ways for project-based learning, any other tools they want to use to utilize that space to help our students out. To the right is the new resource center. It's a 2-story space. We actually have a balcony there, and if you stand on that balcony, that could be used as a small area for reading and so forth, but we have a tremendous view from that balcony outside to the front of the building to oversee the lake over there in the Bridgelands, and it's a great view, and I think the kids will really enjoy that space. Dr. David Anthony Middle School number 18 is well under construction. It's a new 3-story middle school, very similar to the program that we did at Sawyer's Middle School. And we're real excited about this project. It's located adjacent to Rennell Elementary School and on our 40-acre tract at the corner of Tuckerton and Greenhouse. And we're well underway. We have concrete slabs poured. in various parts. We got a lot of the pavement installed already. This picture is a little bit older. It was taken back in late July, but we already have steel on the third floor and some of the educational wings of the building. So we're moving right along, and we're making great progress, and look forward to getting that facility ready in August next year. Now, our existing campus construction, our Package A, 12 Wilson Elementary School, we included some electrical upgrades, new casework, some HVAC equipment, some new exterior lighting, security systems, some new white marker boards, as well as a new security vestibule. One of the things we are trying to do when we go renovate a building is try to make sure we look at the security of the front entry and try to make sure we can provide additional security at our campuses. So that's one thing we always try to look at when we're going into a new building or an existing building, and making sure we're addressing those security issues to make sure our students and faculty are safe. Just some pictures of the new casework and new lighting standards that are going in. Over at Truett Middle School under Package B, we did some library casework and some carpet in the library, and we're also working on the addition of the rehearsal room. We're also doing some kitchen renovations. Those are well underway, and typically these kitchen renovations are very difficult to do in the summertime with about a 45 to 50-day schedule, and typically the first week or two we usually have to serve box lunches. We're doing everything we can to expedite that, but we work very closely with Darren and the food services department, and they're great to work with to coordinate that so we can get them up and running as quickly as we can. But they're very mechanical, electrical, plumbing intensive type projects. We have to do slabs, have to demo slabs out, a lot of equipment and coordination, so it does take a lot of time to build those renovations on the kitchens. Package C, 2012, our Thornton Middle School renovations. We're doing carpet replacement, doing some HVAC equipment upgrade, as well as we did some bleacher replacement at the campus. Also part of that package at Watkins Middle School, we're doing a rehearsal room addition, did some upgrades to our life skills restroom, and did some new acoustical panels in the band area to improve the acoustics in the space, as well as we implemented a new security vestibule at that campus as well. Also, Package D, 2012, at Spillane Middle School, we're doing some upgrades with new security systems, as well as a rehearsal room addition, as well as doing a security vestibule in that prototype design. Hamilton Elementary School, we included a new cooling tower, heating boiler. Those are not really good pictures to show you guys. We take old equipment out and put new equipment in, so we really want to show that to you guys, but try to show some of the more visible type things we do at the campuses. But we had to paint some exterior lighting. We did some security system upgrades, did marker boards, as well as doing some additional interior partition walls in some of the classroom areas. Package E, 2012 at Millsap, we're doing doing new canopies, new HVAC equipment. Basically, it's been a mechanical renovation job and upgrading the mechanical system over there with new controls. We're doing new carpet. We've installed new casework in various locations, as well as some new interior partitions and new canopies. Package F at Bang Elementary School, heating boiler, we're doing some exterior lighting upgrades, and you can see we're putting new barker boards in these classrooms. A lot of our campus and what was included in our 07 bond program was to go into our existing campuses and replace the chalkboards with dry erase marker boards. And originally in the bond program, all that was approved was doing half of the classrooms, and we made a strong effort to try to do all the classrooms wherever possible, where dollars were allowable, to go ahead and get all the chalkboards replaced at each of the campuses. Also at Package F, Wilburn, we're actually doing mechanical renovations, a new HVAC chiller plant. As much as I hate to tell this story, but as they were delivering the new chillers to the campus, as the contractor was offloading the chillers, they dropped them and damaged 2 of the chillers. So we had to scramble to get 2 additional chillers and get them back up and running. But fortunately, with all the contacts and the efforts that our facilities group has made, we were able to get those new chillers installed, and we're getting the system up and running, and we were able to divert a serious problem there. So we're very fortunate with all the partners we have out in the industry to help us out and be able to come forward and help us and fix that problem to do that. And fortunately, that's something we don't pay for. Our contractor gets to pay for that replacement. We also did some upgrades in the restroom and also in the kitchen area. That's the new kitchen that's under construction right there on the photograph on the right. Over at Jersey Village High School, we were doing some additional work over there. We actually put a new marquee in. We finally were able to convince the city of Jersey Village to allow us to create a variance and allow us to put a digital marquee there. Previously, they wouldn't allow us to do that, and fortunately, we were able to work with the city, and they granted that approval. So we're installing the new marquee, as well as we had to do some rolling grill work up there and add some additional rolling grills at the campus, and then we had to do some door replacement in the boys' athletic area. At Cy Falls High School in Package G 2012, doing some new auditorium lighting controls, new security system upgrades. We renovated the reception area to try to create a more secure environment for our patrons to come in and protect our students. And we also did some HVAC work in the weight room. Package D over at Lowry Elementary School, we're doing some interior wall partitions. We did some renovations in the adaptive behavior area, and part of that was as a result of some structural repairs we had to do at the campus. And later in the agenda, I'll be talking about specific structural items, another item on the agenda to tell you about the other structural issues we found at Lowry and what our plan is to correct those deficiencies to do that. But we put some new accordion partitions in, took care of marker boards, and we also installed some new casework and did some replacement of the windows, the exterior windows and glazing at the exterior of the building. Owens, we did some drinking fountain upgrades. We replaced windows and exterior glazing. We did new classroom casework, and we implemented some new lighting controls. And as part of our lighting controls, it gives us individual control of classrooms in the entire building, so we can actually program when lights come on and off in the building. And it's one of our energy management saving features we build into our projects. And that really results in a lot of savings for us in our M&O side on our utility bills. Package I over at Winfern High School in our Early Learning Center, we did some electrical upgrades, some water piping replacement, and some new fixtures, as well as fire alarm system, and some fixtures at the ELC and Winfern Annex area. You can see the new toilet room. Over at Yeager, we did some security system upgrades. We were replacing the carpet as well as some new casework. This is a picture of the new resource area with the new carpet and the new casework going in. We also did some electrical upgrades and some ductwork modifications and some new air handling unit equipment. Over at Cyfair High School and our ISC paving, this picture is the back driveway of Cyfair High School between the building and where the football field is. We had some drainage problems with the existing asphalt. The asphalt was in pretty bad shape, so we did some drainage upgrades in that area, put some new concrete sidewalks in, and coming back in and replacing the asphalt. And then, as you've had the opportunity to experience coming to our building here, we are trying to finish up the new parking area here at the ISC. If you look at the picture on the right, we actually took that picture from the roof of the ISC West to give you an idea of the scope of work we did, but that job is actually moving very well. It's ahead of schedule, and we're working on the last phase of the project. And as you can see right here, this is the other area we're getting ready to start paving. We're doing all the sub-base work, and then hopefully we'll be pouring concrete within the next couple of weeks there, and then opening it up for the entire use of the facility. So it's really worked out well, and we're really excited. I know people here at the building have been very excited being able to have good concrete, and they can walk and no tripping and things like that with our lovely asphalt that we had here before. Our other big project we're working on right now, as I mentioned, is the Ben D. Bradley Police Department additions and renovations. We're doing about an 8,000 square foot addition, and then also doing renovations inside the building to accommodate the police department and all the additional officers. We're providing a brand new parking lot to facilitate all the number of officers we have to take care of all the parking the vehicles we have for the police department. And part of that project, we're also redoing the driveway to service the exhibit center as well as the parking lot at the SRC. And so we're taking all the asphalt there, replacing it, putting new concrete in, and doing a new concrete loop. And we're realigning the driveway to line up with the new signal light, not the new signal light, but the existing signal light, so we can make a much safer entry-exit point at that location when kids are coming for their ag programs, and as well as visiting for the exhibit center and the SRC. So we're real excited that we've been able to do that. And these projects, too, are been funded by some of the savings we've been able to achieve, as well as the interest earnings from our bond sales to be able to cover these projects and provide these improvements to the district. Here's some of the drainage improvements. As part of that project, we have to do some significant drainage on the project to pick up all the impervious area with all the new concrete we're installing. So we've had to come in and do some additional detention areas to pick up storm drainage on the site. And then, as you can see, we're starting to see the construction of our new concrete circulation road on the site itself. Now that comes to Hamilton Middle School. On July 11th, we got a phone call about 6:30, and apparently we had a fire over there in the library. So we wound up getting another little extra project to do this summer. And you're seeing pictures of the actual location of where the fire was, which was actually in the library. And right now, every indication is we had a printer that had a short or something and caught fire. Fortunately, we had an event going on at the campus. Alert patrons smelled smoke, and our fire alarm system kicked in, called the fire department. They were able to get out there and actually extinguish the fire with the extinguisher, no water, so that helped prevent further damage. But we had significant smoke damage throughout the building. We had to re-clean the building, about 3/4 of the building. One of the other things is we're using Hamilton Middle School as a storage area for Millsap. With all the carpet replacement and work we were doing there, we moved all that furniture over at Hamilton. So we not only got to clean all the Hamilton furniture, we got to clean Millsap as well. So it's been a fun project, but I'm happy to report that we just completed the carpet installation in the library yesterday. We're moving all the furniture back into the library, and we'll be ready to go for Kim and her team on when their staff returns on August 16th. So we didn't miss a beat. So we're pretty proud of the fact that we had a great team. All the teams in the district, I mean, it was just tremendous effort by everybody. It's hard to mention all the folks that were involved, but everybody pulled together to help pull this off. And it goes to show some of the disaster recovery planning that we've done in the district in the past really helps us enable when something like this happens, we can engage our team right away, mobilize, make very quick decisions, and be able to get things in order so that we can hit the ground running, do the recovery work, and then get the building back up and running. So I want to thank all the team members that are involved that worked on this project to have the success we have with it. Here's just some of the pictures. We had to redo some of the drywall above the fire area where the fire was in this area here. You can see teams cleaning some of the casework and the books. We had to basically take every book out, wipe every single book down, but we worked with a great restoration company, Mooring, and they took pictures of everything. They are putting all the books back on the shelf in the same order they came off the shelf. And so that when we turn everything over to Kim, it's like they never left. It's in the same condition, if not better, when they left for the summer break. The picture on the right is the new library, as we have new carpet in there. We had to repaint. There was a mural along this wall. We couldn't salvage the mural, so we are getting an adjustment from the insurance company, and we're going to work with Kim to paint a new mural in the library to do that. All the acoustical panels that were located in the commons area, the band, choir, and orchestra rooms are acoustical panels like you see behind you. With the smoke damage, the smell, we've got those panels clean. They're about a 12-week lead time item, so we're in the process of getting those panels replaced. So they'll actually be installed probably either over the Thanksgiving break or the Christmas break. But they were clean and making it safe for our occupants to get back to the building. And so we're changing the colors of that at the request of Kim, which we think we need to do that for Kim to help her out with all the agony we put her through the last 30 days to get the building back together. But Hamilton's looking great, and we're proud to say we'll be ready for the first day of school. I would like to go ahead and acknowledge all these various departments. They've been involved heavily in helping us be successful with all our projects. I won't read all the names, but you guys know who y'all are in participating in the project designs, as well as construction and planning and mobilization and demobilization to allow our contractors to do their work. And they're just a great team to work with. And then I want to give special thanks to our facility planning and construction team. And those that are here, why don't y'all stand up so we can acknowledge all the work y'all have done. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Board, does anyone have a question? I'm looking. Dr. Ogletree.
Roy, great report. You all have been quite busy and have done a phenomenal job here with what we've seen. I want to ask you, though, were you able to do any and all the necessary security upgrades. As I visited some of the campuses, I know some were needing some security entrance improvements and what have you. Was this included in the summer work?
In all the projects that we touched, we tried to do any security enhancement we could at those campuses. We still have more to do in the district, and as we continue forward in the future to do additional renovations, we'll pick up those security enhancements. One of the things we're trying to do is install building card access readers, similar to what we have here at this building, and as we've gone to all these campuses, we've been installing those devices at entry doors and exit doors and working with the campuses to do that. We don't have all the buildings done, but as we go into the buildings, we are doing our best effort to try to get that installed so we can have that completed throughout the district.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Roy, great report, and I'm sorry you guys had to work all the way through the summer, but
We're
man,
used to
I
it.
tell you what, it's just amazing, and all the things that are on the 2007 bond, that's amazing where we are on that. So thank you very much for the report and your work.
Thank you.
Okay, the following action items have been placed on the consensus portion of the agenda. 5A, the board will consider awarding bids and contracts and are authorizing purchase orders as recommended in the posted agenda item. 1, art paper. 2, Berry Center and Pridgeon Stadium concessions and catering. 3, departmental vehicles. 4, equipment for grounds department. 5, access workers' compensation insurance. 6, laboratory specimens. 7, Lenovo tablets. I hope I said that right. 8, miscellaneous food bid, food service. 9, miscellaneous paper items for food service. 10, produce, food service. B, the board will consider approving the tax refunds of $500 or greater for Cypress-Fairbanks ISD. Stuart, do you have any presentation?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll go on.
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. The board will consider approving the minutes of the June 20th, 2013 regular meeting. D, the board will consider approving the minutes of the June 27th, 2013 special called meeting. If any board member wishes to remove one or more items for further discussion, please do so at this time. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the consensus items as recommended or amended. Board members?
Mr. President, I move that we approve the consensus items as recommended or amended.
And we have a motion from Don Ryan. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree. All in favor, raise your right hand. Oh, I'm sorry, were there any questions? Raise your right hand anyway. Okay. All right, we voted. Okay. I'm sure Robert's Rules of Order will have me thrown out. The following action items have been placed on the non-consensus portion of the agenda. 6A, the board will consider approving on dual reading additions, deletions, or revisions to the district policy, DEC local, compensation and benefits, leaves, and absences. I need a motion. Anyone? Thank you, Kevin. And I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Christine. Do we have any questions? I'm sorry. Questions? Anyone? Okay, we'll vote. Anyone all in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Unanimous. The board will consider approving on first reading additions, deletions, or revision to district policies. 1, DBE local employment requirements and restrictions, nepotism revise. 2, DFBB local term contracts, non-renewal revise. 3, DFFC local reduction in force, continuing contract, add. Can I have a motion, please?
Mr. President, I move that the board approve on first reading additions, deletions, or revisions to district policies DBE local, DFBB local, DFFC local.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Bengoya. Any question? All in favor, raise your right hand. That's unanimous. Thank you. C, the board will consider approving 2013-2014 Cypress-Fairbanks ISD Student Code of Conduct. May I have a motion, please?
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the 2013-2014 Cypress-Fairbanks ISD Student Code of Conduct.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Hartley. Anyone have any questions? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Hartley.
I have a question, just because I haven't been here that long, and I haven't been a parent of a high schooler that long either, but I think we used to have random drug testing, and I was just wondering about the history of that, or why maybe it ended, since we're dealing with the code of conduct and all the different infractions that students can have. I was just curious about the history of.
Yeah, I'm going to have to default that to Roy. That's a program that was discontinued several years ago, but I think Mr. Garcia has more information on that, or Mark.
I'm sorry, I reached for, I was going to say, we actually initiated that as part of a grant.
Okay.
And when the grant funds ran out, we were unable to continue that. We were able, yes, we did at first in order to try and continue with the program. We used funds from the parking fees. And so that we were able to continue a little bit. And actually, Teresa, you can probably.
Actually, Roy and Deborah.
I was, you can correct me if what I say is wrong. We continued that, I think, another 2 years. But then after that, what it was the pool of students, and it was, you were limited by the Fourth Amendment as to whom you could test. And so that pool was such that with the amount of tests that we could do with the money that we had, we did not get the penetration in the pool that was necessary in order to really have an effective program.
Well, and I know we were cutting, I mean, budget cuts were just chopping away at lots of things, and so I understand the monetary issues.
And honestly, it was, the choice was to raise the parking fee even more to make the program what it really needed to be, to have the effect that we were looking for, and we just weren't willing to do that.
Okay.
And we didn't have district funds to supplement.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Dr. Ogletree?
We do have one change due to the Texas legislature, and would Deborah Stewart, could she speak on that, so our parents will know that one change?
Well, there are several changes, but I believe that David Garcia, he's going to share with you the information regarding the switchblade being moved from the prohibited weapon. It is no longer a prohibited weapon, but he will elaborate on the fact that that does not mean that our students are allowed to have switchblades at school. David?
Well, is that your specific question related to that?
Dealing with the switchblade.
House Bill 1862 actually removed that from the penal code as a prohibited weapon. It before was listed as a prohibited weapon, which allowed us to expel students who were, I think, possessed at school, that item. When they removed that, and it was a cumbersome item to deal with, because defining a switchblade, as Marnie can probably attest to, became very difficult as designs changed. However, when they removed that, we could no longer expel students. We had received an earlier ruling during the summer that perhaps we could include it in our code as an expellable item, and even as late as today, we received a clarification on that they would not consider it a mandatory expulsion. However, we still are going to deal with that as a prohibited item at school. We will deal with it under level 3 as any other item that's not listed as a prohibited item or mandatory placement to the DAEP. We would still be able to use our filters and our code of conduct to discipline students who are in possession, use, or have intent to use those items at school. So the switchblade has gone off the prohibited weapon, but we still will deal with it under our code of conduct.
So the change would be, it's not a mandatory expulsion?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Anyone? I just have one, David, and I know that when my kids were in school that we had to sign the student code of conduct.
Yes, sir.
And the parents and the student did. And I know we don't do that anymore. Have y'all looked at reinstating that? Because I personally think it's probably something we need to think about.
We do have a process in place. When we went to the paperless code of conduct and went with it online, we introduced an acknowledgement of the code of conduct to our parents when they register, or if students are returning to our school if they leave us. The document indicates that the parent has knowledge of the code of conduct, where it can be found, and all over the school, actually, in various different places. But by signing that acknowledgement form, we use that as our evidence that the parents are aware that we have a code and that it is accessible to them. So we do have that system in place. We just simply don't hand them a hard copy of the code of conduct to every student that walks through the door.
But you can go back and see that they did sign that
Oh,
acknowledgement.
absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions? All right, can I have a vote, please? All raise your right hand in favor. And that's unanimous, thank you. The board will consider approving the memorandum of understanding between Harris County Juvenile Board and the Cypress-Fairbanks ISD to participate in the JJAEP for the 2013-2014 school year. May I have a motion, please?
I move that the board approve the memorandum of understanding between the Harris County Juvenile Board and the Cypress-Fairbanks ISD to participate in the JJAEP for the 2013-2014 school year.
Thank you, Ms. Benagoya. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Any questions? Then we'll take a vote. All in favor, please raise your right hand. That's unanimous. Thank you. E, the board will consider approving the district's fiber maintenance and lease agreement by and between Phonoscope Light Wave Incorporated for a period of 6 months. May I have? 60. I'm sorry, 60 months, excuse me. May I have a motion?
I move the board approve the fiber maintenance lease agreement by and between Phonoscope Light Wave, Inc. for the period of 60 months.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Hartley. Any questions? But I'll take a vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous, thank you. F, the board will consider approving changing the date of the special call board meeting to canvass the board election ballots from November 20th, 2013 to November 18, 2013. May I have a motion?
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the changing the date of the special call board meeting to canvass board election ballots from November 20th, 2013 to November 18th, 2013.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Bengoya. Do we have any questions? Then we'll have a vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. And it's unanimous. Thank you. G, the board will consider ratification of change order number 1 in an amount not to exceed of $340,000 for package G 2012 miscellaneous renovations for Cy Falls High School, Lowry Elementary School, and Owens Elementary School for structural repairs. We don't need a closed session on this, do we? No. May I have a motion, please?
I move that the board authorize a ratification for change order number 1 in the amount not to exceed $340,000 for package G-2012 miscellaneous renovations to Cy Falls High School, Lowry Elementary School, and Owens Elementary School for structural repairs.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
And before you proceed, we'd like to give a little presentation on that. Now that
Okay.
we've got a motion second.
Mr.
Okay.
Covey, members of
Yes.
the board, as I included in the packet, we uncovered a structural deficiency back in late June that required extensive work. We went through an evaluation and analysis to see what we needed to do to correct the problem. We came up with a solution. We had to go ahead and issue a change order in the amount of not to exceed $340,000 so we can get the work authorized and moving, because they had to order materials and so forth to give us a chance to get the work done before the school started. We were able to complete all the lintel repairs that were indicated in the report in the initial backup. I also passed out a memo to the board at your board table. Based on conditions we found this week, we actually got the product in. We just started installing the connectors. That was actually going to be a connector drilled through the mortar joints to tie into the CMU backup. When we started doing that installation, unfortunately, the mortar is too soft and it will not withhold the strength of the connectors, and it will not work. So unfortunately, we had to come up with a new plan. We met yesterday and today. I was out at the job site this afternoon meeting with the contractor and my team, and the solution we've come up with is we will have to reface the building with new brick veneer. That's the only way to solve this problem. So we're working out a plan right now to start looking at demoing the brick. We're actually going to redesign the brick and at least give some additional color to the building, knowing that we now have to do new brick veneer. But because of this, the only safe way to do it and a permanent fix for the project would be to tear the existing brick off and reface it with new brick veneer. That way we know we're putting the correct ties in and at the correct spacing, and we can secure that we'll have brick veneer safe for our students and our staff. What we'll have to do is demo the front entry and the back entry where buses and parent drop-off are above the canopy. That's where we have brick at now. We'll pull that brick off. Then it becomes safe. I won't have to do any special barricades there at that location. And then we'll set up temporary barricades and fencing around the rest of the perimeter of the building so that we can start demoing the brick. And then also we'll create some construction tunnels from exit ways on the north and south side of the building so students can have access to playground areas to make sure they're safe while we're performing the repairs. In talking with our contractor today, it's probably going to take us 4 to 5 months to complete this work. We're trying to locate brick right now and seeing if brick's available and how quickly we can get it on the site. But in talking with the GC, it'll probably take us about 30 days to do the demolition work. And then once we complete the demo, there's some other trigger work we have to do with electrical and plumbing and so forth with penetrations through the brick. We have some downspouts and roof drains and things we have to deal with. So we are anticipating this is actually going to cost more than the change order we've already executed. And we're currently investigating what those costs are and looking at the alternatives as we do the demolition. And there will be a good chance I'll be having to come back to the board in September to ask you to approve another change order based on what the final negotiated amount's going to be in order to complete the repairs. But we have no choice to do this. Unfortunately, I wish I didn't have to present this bad news to you, but it is the best option for the district long term, and it will provide a safe and secure environment for our students when we complete the work.
Do you have any questions on this? Dr. Ogletree?
Yes, Roy. This is not a common occurrence, and why is this peculiar to Lowry? What?
We have a couple of scenarios there. One, I think we found as we uncovered and exposed some of the brick areas, there was not the best of construction technique used in building the building. And some of the way they supported the lintels was not what we would do in building construction today. Some of the other things that have happened, the brick ties that exist there, some are actually disintegrating. They're corroding and have disappeared. We also found in locations where the spacing was not the correct spacing like we would do today in building a building. So we found numerous deficiencies as we have done our investigation. There are parts of the building and parts of the brick veneer that we think are in good shape, and based on some of the preliminary bricks we've taken out, we have found ties that appear to be in good shape. So as we continue to work around the perimeter of the building, if there's a way we can salvage the brick, we will certainly do that if it's not required to do any replacement. But it's going to be an ongoing effort as we continue to work around the perimeter of the building to do that. But we'll do everything in our best efforts to get the cost down so we can reduce the exposure to the district to make that happen.
And the change order that we voted on is just to at least get the work started?
Yes, sir. The original fix that we had indicated in the memo in the backup was taking this connector that was drilled through the mortar joints, but because of the installation when it went the last couple of days, we could not get those attachments to hold properly. So as a result, that fix would not work, and we would basically be wasting that money. So basically, we're going to return those connectors that we purchased and then use that money to start going ahead and doing the demolition and the purchase of the new brick. Once we can determine what the final costs are, then I'll come back to you and present a final change order that we'd ask for approval to complete the work.
Anyone else? Roy, how old is Lowry?
I think it was constructed in 82, 83, I believe, Mr. Covey.
Were there any other schools constructed at that time by the same company?
Yes,
that we should be
unfortunately,
concerned about?
Fraser Elementary, and we're currently looking at Fraser to make sure we don't have some of the similar conditions, but I'm afraid to say that if the contractor did it at this campus. What I understand, both of those schools were built under the same construction contract, so there is a potential chance we could have that risk at Fraser Elementary School. So our team's going to be investigating and taking a look at it. This was uncovered due to some cracks in bricks and so forth that we saw. We investigated, and as we did the investigation, we uncovered these problems.
I guess my next question is, does our insurance cover anything, any part of this?
I don't think so. I've talked to Marnie, our legal counsel, and we discussed possible recourse against the original contractor. I do not think the contractor is in business, and I'm going to try to use the correct term here, Marnie, statute of repose. It only allows us 10 years to go back to the contractor. So unfortunately, I wish we had some recourse, but we don't against the contractor at this time.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
Mr. Hoffman?
Roy, first of all, thank you for your time the other day in articulating to me the details associated with this issue. It seems as though it's gotten a little worse since we talked. Sorry to hear that. So it's my understanding that those dollars that were allocated originally for the fix are now going to be reallocated to the new, more comprehensive fix, which is going to be more expensive and is going to be, and that the delta or the additional money associated will be brought back to us in September.
That is correct.
Do we have well, I guess the scope hasn't really developed associated with the schedule or the timing?
Well, we're still developing that right now, but we did some discussions today and talking with the general contractor, the masonry subcontractor, and mobilization and how we're going to do this. But our first goal would be to do the demo first to do that. But right now, the preliminary estimates that we have that are ballpark numbers, we're looking at a probable cost of anywhere from $770,000 to about $800,000 total. So if assuming you approve this item tonight on the 340, potentially I'll be coming back for another $460,000. Hopefully it'll be lower than that as we work through the process, but right now that's what it looks like based on our best estimates as of late this afternoon.
Are they finished? Have they completed the forensic study?
We're going to continue to do more of the forensic study.
So
as we
there
go
could be
through.
more, and
Well, the numbers we're throwing out, we're thinking is worst case scenario, taking
Okay.
all the brick off. We're hoping as we go through the process that we won't have to remove all the brick, which would then reduce that cost down.
thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll add that some of the structural repairs that were included in your packet have been performed, which was the brick lintel. So a portion of that $340,000 you're approving is paying for that lintel repair. So some work has gotten done and done the way we expected to do, and we've cleaned that up. It's just now the actual brick veneer itself and the attachments.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Ogletree?
And just one last question, Roy, that since the word structural was used, I just want you to reassure our patrons, our citizens, that there is no safety issue at Lowry's concerning our students, our staff.
Yeah. That is correct. We've been working with our structural engineers, and they've assured us as we go through this process, and they'll be involved throughout the design as well as our architects, Bay Architects, to make sure all the way we're doing this, they will not harm or put any of our students and staff in harm's way. That's why we'll go do some of this demolition work before school starts, where we have the risk at the entryways, and then once we remove the brick, it's not going to look pretty, unfortunately, but it will be safe to walk through the front entry and the back entry. And then, as I mentioned, as we start doing the brick replacement around the perimeter of the building, it's a very long, narrow building, and we've got exit ways on both sides of the building on the long side axis of the building, and those go out to playground areas. So in those locations, we'll probably build some tunnels so that if we need it for fire exit purposes, so in case there was an event we had to evacuate the building, we can evacuate them safely through a construction area and get out to a safe area. And then it'll also give them access to the playground area for when they access playground and their recess time.
Okay, no other questions? We have a motion by Mr. Hoffman and a second by Mr. Ryan. All in favor, raise your right hand. That's unanimous. Thank you. H, the board will consider authorizing the superintendent or his designee to negotiate and execute a final contract for the procurement of electricity for a term not to exceed 5 years in response to proposal number 13-06-3626 RFP. May I have a motion? Okay, and that's 1306.
Oh.
Ms. Miguel. Okay.
1306,
Thank you. May I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Hartley. Any questions? Anyone? Dr. Ron? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, for those of you keeping score at home,
Oh, Lord.
Julie's at home going, no. I don't really have a question, Roy. I do want to commend you, though, and I think this should be public knowledge. By you doing this, we have a potential savings. You put it in our packet here of $488,775. That's huge. So, especially when we're counting every dollar still in the district. So, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I need to thank my team, my energy
And your
management
team.
team. Claude and Jason are in the audience. They're the ones that did all the work behind the scenes, so I'll give credit to them as well.
Great job by you guys.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Bengoya, a second by Ms. Hartley. All in favor, raise your right hand. And that's unanimous. Thank you. We're going to skip I and move on down to the superintendent's briefing portion of the agenda. Dr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Summer school is concluded, and the district served over 9,500 students in a variety of programs at the elementary, middle, and secondary levels. Exactly 175 students met graduation requirements, and commencement exercises were held at the Berry Center on August 7th. The Instructional Technology Department hosted its first annual Teacher Technology Conference on July 30th. This year's theme was Ride the Digital Wave, and approximately 550 Cyfair teachers were in attendance. The conference provided teachers with new strategies and tools to integrate technology into their classrooms for student-centered environments. Thank you to our business partners, Adobe, Apple, Lumens, Microsoft, NBC Learn, Region 4, SMART, and Summit Integration Systems for sponsoring the conference and providing engaging sessions. Other presenters included CFISD teachers who make learning in their classroom rigorous, relevant, and engaging through the use of technology. I'd like to thank Becky Cook and her instructional technology team for organizing the Teacher Technology Conference. The first annual CFISD Community Expo will be held on Saturday, August 17th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Berry Center, offering parents a series of helpful back-to-school services in one convenient location. This is an effort of the Student Services Department. The Community Expo is open to all CFISD students and families and will include services such as online registration for new students, immunizations, employment opportunities, free and reduced lunch and chip applications, athletic physicals, and community programs registration. We are preparing for the 2013-14 school year, which begins Monday, August 26th for students. Many people have worked very hard, as you've heard, to get our facilities ready for the approximately 112,600 students and also the staff at our 85 campuses, which include one new opening this year, which you saw earlier, Pope Elementary. You also heard earlier about the Cyfair ISD Bus Buddies program, which provides assistance to elementary students in exiting their bus at the correct location during the first 3 days of school. This is the 7th year for the program and is a valuable partnership between the volunteers in public schools, the Cyfair campuses, our transportation department, and the Cyfair Houston Chamber of Commerce. Interested volunteers can sign up to be a bus buddy by calling their campus, calling the Bus Buddies hotline at 281-894-3949, or via the district's website, www.cfisd.net. And I can add that everyone who participates in that program, it's a bigger thrill for them, and it's a very rewarding 3 afternoons for those who participate. I'd also like to remind you, believe it or not, Monday, September 2nd, will be a student and staff holiday in observance of Labor Day, and all of our facilities will be closed on that day. In the event of an emergency, please contact our security office at 281-897-4337. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I, the district will consider a Level 3 appeal, Tristan M., of a Level 2 decision. This item may be discussed in a closed session. Are we having a closed session? So I will need a motion to move into a closed session. May I have a motion, please? Thank you, Dr. Ogletree. May I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, that's unanimous. The board will now adjourn to a closed session under Texas Government Code Open Meetings Act, Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.073, 551.074, 551.076, 551.082, 551.083, and 551.084 for the purposes stated in the posting of this meeting. If the board determines that any final action, final vote, or decision on any matter considered in the closed session is required, such final vote, action, or decision shall be taken upon the reconvening of this meeting in open session or at a subsequent meeting of the board in open session, after proper notice has been posted. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Did we vote already? I couldn't remember. Okay, that's unanimous. Did we? Okay. Second time we're going in. Okay, so now we're moving into a closed session. I appreciate everyone for coming. Thank you very much.
We'll be here, right?
Have a fun weekend.